People ask me that all the time. How do you keep your win rate so high? How are you often so right? This initial pop looks like a fake out to me. It's a clutch trade, ladies and gentlemen, for $6,000. Good morning, everybody, and happy Monday. Today, we are going to have very little data that's important for the market, but we do have a couple different things that we want to be watching. Right now, we have Beth Hammock who's speaking, so I'm listening for headlines on that to deliver to you folks. Outside of that, we do have John Williams and Alberto Musalim, the two FOMC voters who are speaking today, but they're not until 1:30, right? The only piece of news that we have coming out that's notable today, I mean, it's not really notable even. It's the pending home sales. That's out at 10. We get the Dallas Fed manufacturing activity, but again, that's not some market moving activity. That's not going to do anything. So as traders, what do we look for on a day like today? We look for positioning leading into tomorrow, which is going to be end of quarter flows potentially. We saw some of those on Friday. But we have JOLTS job openings because it's the last day of the month tomorrow. Falls on a weird day. We also get a 52-week bill auction out of the Treasury tomorrow, but then we're going to get some more Fed speakers, right? Fed Vice Chair Jefferson is speaking tomorrow. Goolsbee is speaking tomorrow in the afternoon. So those are the events that can make something happen tomorrow, but the party bus really rolls into the tail end of the week with October 1st kicking off with ISM. October 2nd, we get jobless claims, and then on Friday, October 3rd, we're going to get the non-farm payrolls, first Friday of the month. All of that data coming out this week is really going to shape the tone for where Q4 is going from here. Because right now, as it stands, when we're looking at the FOMC, the Federal Open Market Committee, what we're looking at is potentially a 91% chance of a single cut by December, right? A 91% chance, I'm sorry, in October, sorry, not December. In December, we're looking at a 68% chance of 2 cuts by then. So almost certain that we get a cut in October. And by the way, October's meeting is coming in just like a month from today. So it's a month from tomorrow. Wait, when is it October? Yeah, it's at the end of October 29th. And then we get the December one on December 10th. So both of those are Wednesdays. For some reason, I thought one was like on a Tuesday or something. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens betwixt now and then. That's where a lot of juice is going to be, right? How likely is it we get a huge bull trend continuation during New York? You're talking about today? I mean, there's a couple different areas that I'm interested in watching. Obviously, here and here. Like if we start coming up testing this area and we kind of blow through that resistance and we see equities trending higher, then great. There's a lot of different scenarios on the table for today's trade. I mean, if we're just looking at the profile, we have a lot of unfinished business up here still, right? We didn't have a lot of liquidity contracted up in this area. So if we're breaking out upon this level here, which is kind of where we're testing around, this Monday high, if we start doing that, then things can get interesting to the top side and potentially finish up some business up here. If we start rejecting up here, it's going to be interesting to see, this prior trend that we easily broke in this huge candle down, retested that pop and then continued lower. We're back kind of testing that. But if we come back down to this area here, somewhere in this mess of liquidity and we start to find sellers in this area, which can be pressured by the midpoint of that range, then potentially we're going to start visiting down in this area here. So, I mean, and that's not going to happen on just today's session. It's a huge range that we're talking about. I mean, it could, but, pulling back out 15 minutes here, we're very extended, right? If you're looking at the broader trend, breaking this huge broad trend here, we're kind of just skirting along it. If we broke that broader trend and we have really negative data, maybe the Fed starts to change their tone on things, then maybe we're going to see a change of that trajectory. The thing is that, as day traders, we don't have to look. This is a massive amount of points here. We're talking about 2,000 points. We don't have to look for 2,000 points. We're looking for 10 points, 5 points, 20 points. So really just look at the day as pacing yourself, maybe playing around range. Where's your 3-inch putt going to be? Where's your focus going to be placed today? Is it going to be placed on trying to capture a bigger part of the move? Like, are you going to look for heavy rejection above this level and maybe look for sells? Or are you going to look for some type of agreement on price and then coming out of that valley or gully of despair once we agree on price? Let's see if this thing violently pulls back after that extension above 916 here. No, it does not. And indeed, the S&Ps are coming out of the valley of despair as well. This is wild stuff, ladies and gentlemen. This is a mega grind to the moon. Wow. Rip channel points, yeah. Is this thing going to pull back at all? A little bit of an exchange there at 25, and it still looks like it has the mustard. Some overhead supply here on 67.25 in the S&Ps, but I don't think that's going to get in the way of a good rally in the NQ here. At Microsoft and Nvidia just really slamming it harder, just really pushing to the moon, looking for the sky. A bit of an exchange there at 9:30. Still just driving higher. This is an extreme area of liquidity up here. towards 950. So pulling back there, back to 930, finding some buyers. 67.25, sort of a line in the sand here in the S&Ps. Pulling back now. Let's see. A little pullback in Microsoft. So exchanging that liquidity over that area here, popping. This pullback could get interesting here. Watching. Volume dying down tremendously. We were about 15 minutes from the top of the hour news. Watching. It is holding that pullback at 25s for the time being. Let's see if this thing wants to get spicy and hold 25s here. Order book is clearing out just a touch here. If it can take out those 50s, I think it's going to slam super hard. So watching here on this push up. Okay, pushing up towards those 40s. Some liquidity there. 40s are stacking up a little bit heavy. Pushing higher here. What a beautiful song, by the way. A lot of orders coming in pre-50 here. A lot of people front running those 50s, which is completely normal. See if they have an extreme pullback underneath 40 here. Looking for longs here above 50 now. Looking for this exchange to continue highly above those 50s. So if enough liquidity gets in the way of that, we can see a little bit of a pullback. 67.25 is the line in the sand here for the S&Ps. Watching here, seeing a bit of a pullback just below 35. Let's see if 25 wants to hold or if that's the line in the sand. Okay, 25s are looking good. Let's see if this perks back above like 40 again. 25s are looking good to hold here. Watching here for an extreme pop back over 40, which should lead us to the promised land here. Watching, popping higher, looking at this 40 level for the big burst of liquidity. Higher she comes. Higher she comes. Can she get even higher? Can she get bricked up on the Juice Nation? I do believe that exchange at 25 was exactly what we're looking for, and we're out of there, folks. My goodness. We will call that what it is. That's a clutch trade, ladies and gentlemen, for $6,000. My goodness gracious. You love to see it. My goodness. What a move. What a move. My God. 25 up to 40. What a move. 15 handles on the ticket for $6,080. You love to see it. You love to see it, folks. You love to see it. Actually, 555. Oh my goodness. 555 on the print there. Are we enjoying the new stream layout, by the way? Isn't it fun? Nice little hold there at 25s. Gives us the hot ticket right to 40s, 15 handle exchange. Beautiful for $6,000. Put the balance healthily at 5,500. Oh my goodness, clutch trade again. Yes, we see that. Yes, I know it was a clutch trade. I get it. All right. There's that tap of 50s in the big rejection we talked about earlier. What in the NFL blitz? You wanted excitement on the, you wanted excitement over here. We got excitement, folks. That pullback to 25 was something that will be written about in the history books for ages. That beautiful pullback to 25 was everything we needed to go for the longs there. It's absolutely beautiful. What happened to sack lunch? We still got it. We still have that. Don't worry. We don't have a sack lunch animation yet. I am still looking for more animators out there. The music is too good. I can't focus. You folks are legends. Well, we're going to see what happens at 10 a.m. here, which is coming in less than 10 minutes. Hey, listen, if you can wait all morning for one trade and then get rewarded with 15 handles from a 3-inch putt, you ought to be patting yourself on the back because that's a decent trade right there. That's a very decent trade. 15 handles is 15 handles. I still love that comment. What in the NFL blitz is this? My God, look at that rejection. We said it's going to tap 50 and we'll see a slam, and I did not take this, but by golly, that's a slam if I've ever seen one. 30 handles to the face. 30 handles to the face. 30 handles to the face. By the way, if you are looking to load up on accounts, I command your attention to the bottom of the screen here. 80% off on Apex right now with $85 lifetime PA fees. Unlimited number of accounts, 1 day to pass. You can pass them in one single day. Just use code RIPS. Does help me out. Appreciate that very much. Wow. Right back up. Holy jamoli. It's okay to just be an observer of the market. Ever since I took that trade for $6,000, I've just been watching this price action in bewilderment. Truly. This is not the type of price action that gets me bricked up. This is unpredictable, wild, and whippy. Yes, you can definitely recover losses in this type of tape, but it's a lot of gambling going on. It's very hard to read. It's very hard to read. This is very dangerous. I'm not making a bit. I'm not trying to poke fun at anybody. This is an extremely volatile and dangerous market. This is a type of market where you can have a good idea and still get tossed around and get stopped out before your actual move shows through. The key to this market, mastering it, is either being an observer of the market and building up your pattern recognition, simply not trading it, or waiting for an exact setup to come to you that makes sense in your setting, your setup repertoire, and taking those trades. That's how you become a winner in these markets. If you're jumping in willy-nilly, you're still gambling. That's just a fact. And you ought to stop it, because gambling doesn't make you a long-term winner. It can make you a short-term winner and feed that dopamine fix that you have for the markets. Look, I missed that huge run-up, right? Maybe I make 50K if I just nail that run-up. But I didn't see anything that got me into that market. In fact, the whole morning I was looking for short because the market looked weak. And then it started to blow off and I said, I can't trust this still because it still looked weak and I thought that was a fake out. I didn't get in until we pulled back to 25 and we were still ripping on that extension and shorts were in trouble. That's my 3-inch putt of the day, right? That's my 3-inch putt. It's not witchcraft. It's not magic. It's patience. It's discipline. It's pattern recognition. And it's understanding what state is the market currently in. Quick question for you, and I'll give you a free Apex account if you nail this one. What state was the market in when I jumped into the market? What was the market doing? What was the operation of that market? There was a very specific thing happening. Okay, I want to see a little bit more. What exactly? Okay, you got it there. It was Sam Sarahara, squeeze of shorts. Shorts were offside. That pullback was temporary. And shorts were trying to fill on that pullback, and you could see that on the tape. So that pullback to 25 is my entry there because shorts are still being squozen. But the reason why we're squeezing there, and that's why that becomes a 3-inch putt for me, is because the tape is screaming out to me, right? That initial pop looks like a fake out, right? That initial pop, let's bring up Bookmap here. This initial pop looks like a fake out to me, right? Because we're doing a range breakout and that's a stop run. So when we have this continuation, I don't have anywhere to jump in because at any moment they can pull something like this where they just completely just start rolling and dumping, or something more violent like this, straight down dump. But when we pull back to that 25, when we pull back right here and we find all of that liquidity holding sort of a double bottom here, and the importance is that we didn't just test it once, but we tested it twice. And that is actually me getting into the market there. That's me getting into the market because what I'm looking for is not a 100-handle move. I'm using the tape, the exploits of the tape, to allow me to be on the right side of the market. The exploits of the tape are telling me two things. Number one, shorts are trapped. And number two, the job's not finished. So if we can take that, right? If we can take that information and we can line ourselves up in a clear head, in a clear picture, where would we put our stops on this? It's very simple. We put our stops at the high of the last big wick here. So we're only running 25 to about 18 on a stop. If you're doing the math at home, that's only 7 points to make 15. That's well over 2-to-1 risk to reward. Is this making sense? Drop a W if it is. That's momentum in a nutshell. That's what we look for. All right, there's your 10 a.m. candle. Pending home sales coming in at 4% month over month versus a 0% estimate. People ask me that all the time. How do you keep your win rate so high? How are you often so right? It's patience, and it's not looking for these extraordinary million-handle moves, right? How'd you learn patience? That's the question. By getting my cheeks clapped over and over again. That's just a fact. Getting my cheeks clapped over and over and over again. Now, if you're new to the stream, markets or gamble, I do gamble on a crypto casino after this, which is going to blow some of your minds, but it's kind of how I blow off steam after I'm done trading for the day. I made $6,000 today. That's enough for me. And I don't want to tangle with a market that is wildly unpredictable from here on out. Yes, we can probably find another 3-inch putt, but is it worth the opportunity cost of potentially eating into my profits after I nailed such a perfect trade? This is how you keep a high win rate. This is how you keep your hit rate high, your success rate high, keep your targets in line with expectations, right? 7 to the downside, stopping out at 7 is fair enough if you're going to make 15 on the upside. That's it. It's just that simple. Make it simple for yourself and the markets will reward you with greater profits through simplicity.